Hello then, welcome to the Drax Files Radio Hour with Joe Yardley. My name is Drax Dupre. I'm here alone again because it's the day after Thanksgiving in the United States, and I am not in the United States presently, and I do not have a hangover, but you might. And to honor the holidays that the Americans like to celebrate, we have not a full show today. You know, who am I kidding? I'm leaving for Edinburgh, Scotland, and that's why I'm overworked, and that's why there's no full show. But there's something very cool, because I'm going to share with you guys the cleaned audio of a 2-hour conversation I had with Isla Gaelic from Cheeky P. And the audio is about 10 plus minutes long. And that is the pool plus some other stuff that I cut out earlier, from which I craft, if you will, the story of the next Drax Files World Makers video. And you can listen to this audio that is not sequenced or anything. There's no logical sequence to it. And you can take it and you can, if you want, guess what story will emerge, what emphasis am I going to put on Isla's story for this video that will come out on the 11th of December. And like I said, I'm actually going to Edinburgh, Scotland, in the physical world where Isla is located with her partner. Before we go to the audio, consider a donation to this program, a subscription. Help us out with a corporate sponsorship or an individual subscription. Thanks for all those comments on the Lab Chat episode. The video is forthcoming on the official Linden Lab YouTube channel, Second Life YouTube channel, I should say. And I hope the discussion is ongoing. There's a lot of interesting sort of speculation and concerns. I would like to address those with Joe next week in detail. So keep on commenting on this channel and all the other channels, and we're going to see what we have there and then discuss it. I'm not sure all those fears are so warranted. I'm very happy that Ebbe did this program and how he did it. Of course, there's a few people who think this is propaganda, but I talked about this last time. I think propaganda is something a little different. Yeah, so here's the raw audio with Isla Gaelic, a little bit music underneath, and that's it. And happy holidays to my American friends and everybody else. Get back to work. All right, here we go.
When you're in a video game and you're walking around, you see it's not just the character, it's not just the storyline, it's the furniture in the room, it's the buildings around you, it's the trees you see in the game. That is what I create as an environmental space. My name in Second Life is Isla Gaelic. I make my living from creating virtual home and garden furniture and decor. I sell all sorts of things, from sofas to beds to tables to outdoor gazebos, blankets, patio furniture, anything you could put in your home or outside in your garden. I just went to visit a lot of family, so I've had to explain to them what I do because they don't understand it. Of course, most of them think it's absolutely insane. They can't comprehend the idea of virtual property, such as a non-tangible sofa or a non-tangible house. But I say that my customers are buying the image of what I've created, which is a license to use that image in their homes for their own personal use or in their businesses for their use, but not to recreate that image. I like to make things look lived in. I want somebody to have sofa cushions thrown on the sofa. I want them to have cushions that may be slightly saggy, because in real life, our sofas aren't perfect. It's about feelings and emotions. I mean, you can go into a chat room and you can have a discussion, but it's more fun if you're sitting around a sofa or a campfire. It creates a feeling of togetherness and closeness. It is the same emotion as going out and having a good night out with my friends, because that's what I've done. I've just done it in my pajamas. It's all about emotion. That's why Second Life exists, is for emotional reasons. For example, I met my partner on Second Life. When we met, I had a 3-year-old daughter. When you have a child that young, it's not a case of being able to just nip out to have a coffee. I was spending a lot of time at home by myself. She was sleeping, and they sleep at weird times. So you get 2 or 3 hours at a time where you have absolutely nothing to do, where you do not make a single sound. You can only read so many books before you think, oh, I just want to talk to people. And so I joined Second Life. I mean, I had friends that were other mothers, but invariably our conversations went back to which diaper was better and which bottle worked best, and oh, I can't wait to sleep again. Because that's your focus, is your child, and that's what it should be. But you want to talk about the other things too. I was walking around in a shop one day and I saw a chair, and it looked just like a sphere with kitty ears. I said, oh, I really want that chair. And then I looked at the price and I said, well, that's insane, 600 lindens or whatever it was at the time. That's where it grew from there. It was just one chair that I thought, I'm not going to pay that much for something so easy to make. It was really Scottish cheapness that started it all. I have a store. I own 6, 7 Sims integrated together. We're a land group. People can walk into one Sim and walk to the next. The P is more like a country park, and then you go into the men's department sim, the T and D sim, and it gets slightly more urban, and it's kind of more like townhouses. I love the community feel, surrounded by other creators. That's a good thing. The illusion I sit around in my pajamas all day and eat cake and look at the sky and get inspiration is not true. My job requires a lot of self-discipline, which I never thought I was capable of. People say, oh, well, you must have it easy. You work at home. It's anything but easy. I'm working from the time my daughter goes to school until she gets home. Then she comes home and I have to spend the time with her doing her homework. And then when she goes to bed, I might have 4 or 5 more hours of work to complete. Sometimes when I'm on a deadline, I'm working until she wakes up, and then that happens all over again. I mean, ideally, obviously, I wouldn't like to work all night, but I don't have that luxury of not completing things. This is what pays for the roof over my head and the food on my plate. We're influenced by everything we see and do. Quite often I'll be at dinner and I'll take a photo of a piece of furniture in a restaurant and people think I'm insane. But really the reality of it is I sit in an office from 8 a.m. until well past the wee hours of the morning some days. I was at Jamie Oliver's Italian in Edinburgh and I saw a chandelier. And I loved this chandelier. It was beaded and it had lights and it was stunning. And they had them all over and I thought, that's really beautiful. I'd love to make something like that. And I made a beaded chandelier to go over a hammock I had made called the Boho Dreamtime Hammock. It all worked together. My daughter is 9 years old. She is extremely aware of what I do, of course. She'll say, what are you working on? What are you making? And I'll show her. She likes to pick colors of what I do. She even has asked me a few times if she can make her own things. We started her own little house in Maya, the program I use. She's there as well when I'm taking photos of bureaus and hotel lobbies and things. She's, oh, Mom, look at that. That's so pretty. You should make that. Or I made a children's bed a few months ago and she's begged me to make one in real life for her. She actually got a bed that's quite similar to that. The value of non-tangible items is real to her. As a parent, my job is to also show her the value in tangible. This year we went to Greece and we went to the Temple of Athena and she saw ancient history and she gets just as excited by going to a 2,000, 3,000-year-old temple as she would by doing something non-tangible. It's the balance of showing them that the physical world is very important. And if you don't have the means to show them that, at least try and instill the excitement of it. There are so many things you can do within your community that don't cost money. Even going to the park and learning about the leaves changing on the trees, going to the library and picking out a book on ancient Egypt. There are still ways to learn about the physical world around you. My daughter quite frequently gets discouraged over her artwork because she thinks that other people are better. But I constantly tell her we all have to start somewhere. I didn't create things that I create now 3 years ago or 4 years ago or even a year ago. That's all I tell her is you keep working and you keep trying, because you don't have to be better than somebody else. You just have to be as good as you can be your own artistic self. Creativity is not a competition. It is possible to find your soulmate in a virtual world. I met my partner in Second Life. He is a scripter and he cooks. I was looking for somebody to do some work and I put out a message to other creators, and now he's sitting in a chair across the room from me. We were thinly veiled competitors. No, we were friends. We still have a competitive relationship, but he was a good friend. He was the guy that you could call on to be there at the last minute for things, and he would stay up until the early morning hours to do things as you were finishing them. He's a nice guy. My partner scripts all of my things. He does all of the extra scripting on top of the basic animations. Everything on top of that is all scripted by him. And he also does tickets and answers customer questions and helps with things like that. He's actually far more patient with people than I am, because I perhaps take things to heart too much, because I get kind of, well, why don't you like this? He can objectively sit back and help people. We were working on a platform, and it's just like working side by side in an office. We just happened to be in different places at the same time. And we just got to talking, and he's very softly spoken and sarcastic humor, and it was just fun to hang out, and we just became friends. We would work together, and then we would do things like we went to go watch a live singing show in Second Life and with another group of friends, just like you would in real life. We knew we didn't live far away from each other. He asked me one time to go to the fireworks. It was 2 years maybe after we'd first met in Second Life. And then he went to Starbucks because I wanted a coffee, and he absolutely hates Starbucks. So I knew that was nice. And then it moved on from there. It's good to work together, but in the end, I don't want to say I'm the boss because that sounds wrong, but it's my business. He asks my opinion and he respects the fact that it is my business and I have worked hard for it. That is how it has to work, because the only person in the end that is accountable and responsible for these things is myself. You can definitely get a sense of who a person is by interacting with an avatar, because you get a feel for their personality first rather than physical mannerisms and interactions. You get to know who they are. You don't have to have a pretense. In the physical world, people are constantly self-conscious about how they look, how they're acting. My avatar is completely different. She loves flowing clothes, which I could never wear in real life because I'm much more of a curvy figure, and in Second Life I look like a boy. It's great fun to dress her up in different things, and in real life I don't dislike what I look like. I'm not physically unattractive, but I also enjoy a different style that doesn't necessarily suit my real life physical form. As little children, we dressed up our dolls. We don't wear the clothes that our dolls dressed up. She's my doll, my fun doll to dress up. The internet in general has made the world much smaller. You're not limited in romantic relationships to nearby or to finding somebody grabbing the same bit of cabbage in the grocery store. You have the entire world there. I live near Edinburgh, which is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. We have gorgeous buildings. We have a 1,000-year-old castle on top of an extinct volcano. And I still love to go into Second Life and have fun and express my creativity. I think you can have a balance of both. I don't think that Second Life is for anybody. I think it's for everybody. What were the chances of me becoming a self-supporting content creator in a virtual world that doesn't even exist? Exactly.
that was Isla Gaelic. Now, remix the audio and come up with your own story about her. Why not? And my story will come out December 11th. And I'm off to Edinburgh. Wish me luck and wish me the strength to stay calm when the camera batteries die. I actually have 3 spare ones, so we're good. All right. Have a great weekend. Bye.
The Drax Files Radio Hour with Joe Yardley is a weekly production of Basic Drax Entertainment. The show is supported by Maven Homes, Giza Creations, Botanical, Strawberry Sing, Abranimations, Arrows Avatars, Caravel Design, Avacon, The Cube Republic, Fateware by Damien Fate, The Avazines Publication Family, What Next, Bright Canopy, Dutchy Furniture, Landscapes Unlimited, Dwarfins, The Den, Following Gods Incorporated, Feroce SL, Giant Snail Races every Saturday, Kona Stream, and Death Row Designs. Contact the show via Skype, Drax Files, Avatar Drax Files, or email radio@draxfiles.com.